2 games down, 1 to go. Kinguin being a part of all 3 of them so far. What a story it's been. Taking down Mouse Sports to open things up, and then that huge upset result, I'd say, taking down Navi as well.
Yeah, beating 8-3 down to begin with, and then that crazy 11-round streak happened.
Crazy.
Navi picking up 3 after that, but then it was all Kinguin afterwards.
Absolutely, but now they have their biggest challenge yet, I would say, going up against TSM. The best of 1 factor has been working in their favour tonight, but all of a sudden, they go into the best of 3. Let's have a quick look at the bracket and just show you how we got there this evening. So then, we can see Kinguin playing all 3 games tonight. So, going through that, starting off yesterday, 3rd of September, Kinguin did take down Dignitas, then moved on to Mouse Sports, which is today. And pretty interesting stuff as they go now. They've been out for they didn't win a single group stage game in their actual group, and then came down here as obviously in the lower bracket straight away, and now they're looking down at taking on TSM. But like I said, this is the best of 3, and more interestingly enough, they don't actually have Fox. We presumably don't have Fox going into this series. What do we think about that?
Well, I think the biggest problem right now is the fact that TSM has the skill to really match up with these players as well, but as well they have the team chemistry, the team play going on for them. TSM is top 3 pretty solid in the world, so I think this is where the party stops for Kinguin, I'm afraid.
The party stops, or maybe it's just begun. Let's have a look at the teams here. We'll look at the lineups coming in. So TSM, obviously we haven't seen them play tonight. They've been sat in the upper bracket just waiting, so they would have been watching tonight's results and probably shocked as much as we are, to be honest. Navi losing to Kinguin in that situation, wouldn't really see that coming, but Cajun B, Device, Dupree, Carrigan, Zipex. Let's just highlight a couple of guys here. Carrigan, obviously the in-game leader. He's going to have his work cut out for him tonight. Very difficult to play against this sort of proposition, considering Get Right could be playing as well. It's going to be a much more random affair. It's very difficult to predict what we be throwing at him. He's going to take a lot of mid-round, big calls, reacting to what the teams are presenting to him as well. And players like Device and Cajun B, obviously, they're the guys who can pick up the AWP. Depending on the map as well, there could be huge factors going into this. Zipex, the support player, actually been stepping up quite a lot recently as well. And then Dupree, one of the best riflers on the planet, probably in that top 5. So it kind of sums it up for TSM. Obviously, we have seen a lot of these guys coming up on your screen. Next, it's going to be Kinguin. And there it is. Just to, oh, there we go. So Get Right will be staying in there. I guess the point I was trying to make before.
There's a ghost in there.
Is whether they could work out Fox's internet issues going into this final one. They bought themselves a lifeline, but Rain, Dennis, Michael Ellie, Get Right, and Scream. So for anyone that's just joined us, Get Right has not left NIP, and he is actually just filling in because Fox had some internet issues tonight. So they actually seem to work out very well for them. They beat Navi just now in the best of 1 series, but that's the thing. Going into this last game, you're going against one of the top teams in the world, the best of 3.
I guess the big difference also is the fact that now they have 4 people that understand Swedish as well. So maybe that comes into play as well. I don't know, communication-wise.
Right, well, we can have a little insight to the players that could be factoring this game in the key matchup here. So Device versus Michael Ellie. The interesting thing about TSM is, right, they don't really have the set AWP, but if you were going to pick one out, I guess Device would take that role. They're so good at switching up the positions between themselves. You can see Carrigan can AWP, Cajun B definitely can AWP, and Dust 2, for example, and the Device can take that role on sometimes as well. But Michael Ellie, definitely the headline act in terms of the sniping for Kinguin there. So we saw him have some huge rounds there with the AWP, good retakes there. The one that stands out in my mind is when he was on towards the library area, 2 HP through the smoke, that flick shot that came in. We talk about that flashy play and the potential he has to open rounds back up for his team like that, and then that was a huge one to actually turn the tide of the game. But looking at their stats, obviously Device has got a few more kills on the board than him and a couple more deaths as well, so this could be a pretty easy matchup. It just depends on the map for me whether this matchup comes to fruition.
Think about Device as well. You know, we were speaking about Dupree just before about being a fantastic rifler. Device yesterday when we were casting him pulled off a couple crazy 3-man sprays and like ridiculous kind of clutch scenarios. So this guy's just as good with a rifle as well. He can absolutely destroy teams.
Absolutely. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. Before we have a look at the V2 ourselves, where do you guys think in terms of the maps, what's the best thing Kinguin can hope for going into this one?
Well, like we discussed part of this matchup was the fact that for TSM's point of view, I guess taking out the traditional maps would make it harder for Kinguin probably. But when you're TSM, you're not a great fan of Cobblestone, so maybe we'll see them veto that. But again, I think a map like Dust 2 should go away when you're TSM.
I presume we're going to have ban pick sort of setup here. So
yeah. True.
The vetoes are going to be ready now. Let's have a look to see where we've gone down. We don't need to speculate any further. We have actually got the stats coming in. So first ban is going to be Cobble. So like we said, get rid of one of those maps. And like you said, TSM.
They picked us too.
Actually, yeah, okay. So
whatever we predict tonight is just going to go out the window. It's been the theme, so why change now?
Well, Train will open things up. We have seen Kinguin play relatively well on that map, taking no mouse boards. So it's definitely something they're not going to be strange to. But where's Get Right going to fill in this role? We know Fox, especially, he plays the outside towards main, and will be playing that close role with the support player with the rest of his team. But
yeah, so now is it the same way that now Kinguin picked up Train? Does TSM get to pick the side?
Yes, that is right.
All right, so they get to start on the CT side.
And I think the only difference is here, when we go into the third map, the advantage is that TSM get to pick the side. There's no knife round. I think that's where the advantage lies.
Yep.
Instead of having the one map to zero kind of situation.
Exactly. So we don't have the one map advantage. Yep. Normally in a best of 3 series of PGL, we'd have a knife round on the third map, but this time the only advantage you get for TSM is not having. You get to pick the side,
which is pretty nice.
It's a nice
advantage to have.
But like, I guess you've also had the advantage of not having to. You get to watch all the games tonight, and you don't have the risk of dropping out. You're obviously in the final with this last chance group. But like we said, Train will be coming up first, and you have to predict the TSM starting on the CT side. And I think I'm not sure whether they'll be happy the fact that Get Right stepping in tonight. Like, obviously Fox is talking about being the support role, but Get Right, he seemed to not be feeling any pressure whatsoever going into that, and actually picked up 16 frags within. How many rounds did he play? It was about less than. He was missing at least 6 of the rounds that were played.
Well, when you have that individual skill that he has, and then you can play without a lot of restrictions, that's a very hard player to play against. Obviously, no stress, even no pressure to go with, and yeah, I think he can actually be a deal breaker here when you're looking at it from TSM's point of view.
Well, let's see what you guys at home think in terms of predictions. We're going to run through that now and just see where the odds lie. A lot of teams, I think this is going to be very heavily favoured towards TSM, and that's going to be true across the board. It'd be a very big risk, but definitely a viable one betting on Kinguin here. But let's see how that goes off. Esport Gaming there, definitely favouring them. CSGO Lounge, 83% towards TSM. So if Kinguin do win this, it definitely suggests it's a huge upset. HL TV keeping things more modest, though. 51%, very 50-50. That's kind of interesting. And then Twitch chat actually think Kinguin's going to win. Of course they do. They're loving it. So guys, let me ask you, what are your predictions here? Metas, to start with you, how do you feel this one's going to go down?
Oh man, I think it's going to be TSM, honestly. Although Twitch chat's been right twice in a row tonight, so I'm kind of wondering if I can break that curse. But TSM coming into this, as you say, they're one of the top teams in the world. Kinguin, yes, they've got 2 good wins, but it was in best of ones, so you never can quite take too much away from that. I think TSM will win, but originally, if you'd said this to me like yesterday, I'd say, TSM 2-0. I'm going to go 2-1. I think Kinguin could take a map here today.
Okay, so we open up with Train. Where do you see that lying? Do you see?
I think Kinguin got a decent chance on Train, actually.
Okay.
I'm not going to say like they'll definitely win it, but I think if they're going to win a map, I'd maybe go with Train.
Cool. Natty,
that's the only map they will have a chance, in my opinion. That's the one map, if any, they will pick. But I don't think that's going to happen. TSM's going to win it 2-0. Based on facts, the TSM's just a better team. I mean, fairy tales are nice and the kind of a storyline we've been building up here tonight, but it just has to end at some point.
I think you're right. Again, this is the prediction I would be making all night. Like, we can say, oh yeah, Kinguin did take down Navi, but that's not a result that was predicted, especially if you'd have told me as well, Get Right's going to be stepping in. I would have bet the house on Navi taking that one. But obviously, a lot of factors go into online CS. It's not really the same high-pressure environment you get at these LAN events, which this is obviously building up to. So definitely do have to say I favour TSM 2-0. I think Train is going to be a map, especially them starting CT. Unless Kinguin find the pistol in the first gun round, I really don't see it going down either way. So there we go. Natu 2-0 in favour of TSM. Metis actually thinking one map towards Kinguin. I go for a 2-0. And Twitch chat actually thinks it's a 2-1 as well. So Metis and Twitch, you've got that in common.
Oh man, I hope they can be right again.
Let's hope so. So we will be jumping onto the server very soon, I assume. But anything else we can try to think about in this best of 3 series is going to be a factor going in here. MVP so far for Kinguin. Obviously, Dennis has taken that role twice.
So many impact kills, especially on the offensive side. He's taking entry kills and second kills and just all across the map. He might not be stacking these scoreboard stats to anything ridiculous, but it's the quality, not the quantity all the time.
Yeah, that is the key thing right now. And a couple of players from Kinguin have been you know, performing consistently tonight. You know, Rain's been really good. Scream's been pretty much solid as well. Makalele's had some great shots. So yeah, I think Kinguin definitely the underdogs coming into this game. But if they can start well, as you say, Henry, if they can pick up that first pistol round, who knows? Maybe we can start to see something special happen.
If they lose a pistol here, I really don't see them getting into this. TSM are too well drilled as a team across the board. Very deep map pool here. I think they would have been comfortable playing any map. He's going to be trained first. He's definitely going to be formidable. And we talked about Carrigan, especially on the CT side. He will be one to watch out for. Great movement from him. And actually can lock down a lot of situations just by running around that initial opening train there. So all 10 players will be on the server right now. Just waiting for things to kick off. Just to remind you, there will be no knife round or anything like that. It's going to be CTs, are going to be TSM, seeing as Kinguin picked this map. Coming in second. A bit of knife action coming in there as well. There you go. Device warming up. Blade.
Device the Butcher. Just comes in. Couple knife kills, no problem. He was a beast yesterday. Definitely, I think him and Cajun B for me were maybe the standout players.
The bad news for me is I didn't have any Kinguin players picked tonight in Vulcan whatsoever.
Get wrecked.
So I think we are all in a pretty dire situation. I think Meta's actually in a terrible situation.
After coming last place yesterday, you've actually bounced back. You definitely are going to win. The fact you've got 2 players that have played in every single map tonight. Yeah,
Rain and Scream, and they've both been playing pretty well as well on top of that as well. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. But I had a point to prove after yesterday because that was a shocking performance on my team. I was bottom by like 100 points or something crazy.
I think it'll just be the race to last place between me and Natty tonight. We obviously haven't got much going on here. So
at least I have one player that's played on all the matches. And that's
Scream. Oh God, you have. So it's just me and PGL. I think they didn't have any Kinguin players tonight. So that's the only saving grace I can actually have here, is not losing to PGL staff. But it seems like the team will be readying up now. Everyone on the server.
Although if Nico, oh never mind. Never mind, my brain just went AFK. I was like, if Nico can get... Oh, wait, he's not playing.
Literally no Nico on the server.
For once. Usually we have 2, but this time we have none. Not even 2 Dennises.
That's true.
I was trying to be
positive.
I was trying to be positive and say Henry has a chance at maybe leapfrogging, but then I was like, nope, his shot caller's not here.
He's not actually anything to do with this game whatsoever. But
then again, you picked Flamey, didn't you, as well?
I had Flamey and Seized, and I had 3 players with TSM.
I had Edward and Flamey.
And then I had 3 players with Mouseport as well.
I had 3 from Navi because I thought they'd be playing the most maps, which obviously backfired on me.
This is the last time I ever picked Guardian. He's failed me for the last time.
There you go. Alright, I guess we're just waiting a little bit more for things to settle and players to get on the server here. So
pistol round's going to be interesting for Kinguin, right?
Yep.
We saw them on their Inferno strat. They did something, I'd say it was a nice idea actually. He sent 4 players towards the apartments quite delayed. Makalele's watching for the aggression for CTs, and then he threw 1 simple smoke, flashed them out. And then on train, that's another perfect way to perform one of those simple strategies. Just get to the inside of the start. 1 simple smoke down at the lower ramp is normally what you'd do. And flashbangs come out, and then you just try and swarm the bomb site, get the bomb down as quickly as possible. And then that allows you to just force that post-plant situation, which makes the CTs obviously in a bit of a panic.
Last time here on this map, Kinguin had 3 guys coming from Ivy, or even 4, and it was Makalele that made all the difference, coming from Pop Dog, getting 3 kills. And Rain also chiming in with another 2, even though they lost the 2 entries to Nico. So let's see what kind of a T-plus track Kinguin here throws at us.
We'll have a look at their buy quickly. You'd assume 4 sets of armor, 1 utility player. It was Makalele last time. He was by himself. This time Scream actually picking up the smoke, flashbang, HE. And like you said, they did go heavily towards Ivy last time. And 1 player going down Pop Dog. Seems like it would be something a lot more faster here, potentially. So 3 players actually, I looked like they're going much faster. They had to slow right down and going towards inside.
TSM as well. They're pushed up from the inner bomb side.
Looking to try and pounce here through Ivy. As the call was before. 3 players there. Bomb, however, is still heading towards the B side. It has just been dropped, I believe, in that. And meanwhile, the frags are going backwards and forwards between the 2 teams.
KGB could be huge here.
can absolutely set this round on fire. But the Terrorists are not going to allow them to do that. They're rotating through Pop Dog. Looks like they may want to try and get onto this A site. They also have that player, I think it's Rain, who's coming up through Ivy to get round the back of them, so he could be a crucial member. But Device is there, not only gets the frag, but drops the bomb in no man's land as well, which leaves this so precarious right now for the Terrorists. They have answered back with Makalele. He's hungry for more frags. Jumps round the corner, and it was like a headshot in midair with the USP. Who cares about gravity? Definitely not CS. Meanwhile, it's a 1v1. Makalele's been tagged. He's already got himself 3 kills this round. 35 seconds. And this would be absolutely huge if Kinguin can win this. Cajun B trying to bide his time. The bomb is being planted behind the site. And Cajun B now looking for that frag on the exit. And it's going to be Makalele who gets another headshot and gives Kinguin the 1-0 lead.
When 3 frags is not enough, you go for 4. Makalele just going for the huge kills there. Device almost pulling him back as well, getting that bomb dropped pretty early on, but in that 2-on-2, it was Makalele that did all the work.
Yeah, massive stuff from him. We talked about Zipex getting that early kill as well. Saw the bomb, you'd assume that'll put them in a good stead there, but obviously Makalele too strong in that situation. TSM will buy back into this round. Scout being bought for Cajun B, so do not rule them out of this one just yet. It's going to be 3 SMGs for Kinguin as well, so you'd assume they have to do something very quick here, getting out of Pop Dog and looking for those early frags.
We saw the play there, but Carrigan from TSM. It's TSM that's locking down all the frags. 4 kills right now. Carrigan setting the round on fire and giving TSM the dream ace.
Okay, what just happened? I don't think I saw that. I was looking at the mini-map.
He just pushed 5 lane between the 5 and 6 train, got 3 kills towards Pop Doc and E-Box. Here we see it all happening. Wow, the chaos unfolds.
And he actually picks up the kill and finishes it off as well. Why not? I talked about him being an absolute nuisance there and towards that main area, but I didn't think he would have that sort of impact so early on. Horrible round for Kinguin to lose after having such a great start to the game. And now, obviously, they're going to be on the force by Tech9's armor. 2 smoke grenades, though. See, Dennis, though,
Hello.
he's not done. Picks up the opening 1 dig there onto the Device.
Things are firing up.
It's definitely going to set the tone for the game, I think.
This is what we were hoping for in this best of 3, that's for sure. And Kinguin will be a bit of pill for Makalele to swallow after getting those 4 frags in the 1v1 clutch. There's Cajun B though with the scout frag. And Zip next in a good position here with the Mac 10. The bomb's been dropped as well, so he should be good to go right now. He's only got 5 bullets in the magazine. He needs to be a bit careful. But with that grenade landing by the feet of Dennis, he only needs to land 1 shot, and there we go. He seals it up nicely. SoloMid, after that 1 dig that Dennis picked off, you're thinking this could be a bit shaky, but fair play. They steered it away from the rocks.
That's why you call the Mac 10 a Mac Daddy. You just run around killing people, and Zipex getting those 2 picks, and then go for the CZ, and here we go then. We have another save from Kinguin coming up. I think it's the best move to do at this point as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Makalele after getting so many kills in the pistol. He has got a nice bank of 4k, so his options next round definitely are up there. He can either drop for a teammate if required, get the AWP out as well. I can see all the teams probably heading towards inside there. Get right, super standing. Going to be leading the charge here. He's got the bomb as well, so let's see where they do go with this. Straight down lower ramp though. The flags are exchanged.
Certainly will be. And the CTs with the scouts and the Mac 10 will be looking to just rip on in. The bomb has yet to be planted just yet. Here comes the grenades. And Zipnex can't get much else done there, but the bomb has now been planted. Meanwhile, Dupree coming around from the side is going to be finishing off Makalele. The bomb was planted, so a bit of a saving grace, but still 3-1.
Yep, that's the mission accomplished for Kinguin. That's going to enable him for a better buy, even getting a bit more nades working for this 5th round.
Well, so like I said, Makalele was such a huge bank of cash there. Will pull up the AWP straight away, but Cajun B, a player we did talk about before, will be challenging him in this scenario. We'd expect the CTs potentially could have the option here with the Galil and stuff. Go for some early aggression, see what's available with them. We like to favour pushing towards Ivy, but Makalele definitely going to be a huge factor here. He's going to be going towards Ivy himself. And you can see that one of the CTs actually pushing up. Dupree actually not going to be over-committing to this. He thought twice about it, but keeping things passive.
Yeah, passive. Now Cajun B, then nothing but passive, going for the cheeky peek, and he does get dinked through the wall, down to 57. So he has to relocate, can't afford to stay there. It's just got nade written all over it.
Yep. TSM committing 2 players to the inner bomb site.
Terra's still yet to really play their hand just yet. And they're keeping the collars close to their chest. They still have a bunch of smokes to play with as well.
Yeah, difference is Kinguin's not getting early picks here. unlike they did against Mouse Sports.
That's a very good point. That, of course, will make things that much more scary when they do push onto the sides. That's a good Molotov, though. It forces dupreeh out of position. They can't connect the dots as he runs away. Scampers for his life. Still, the CTs, like, they're filtering out pretty well. They're keeping all the positions locked down for now. Here come the flashes and the inevitable push. 38 seconds left on the timer. The terrorists simply have to go in, but they're walking in to a crossfire, and Device and Carrigan will oblige in kind. 2 frags for free for TSM. Get Right does answer back, but now he is the last player remaining. It's all on Carrigan, and he actually going to get taken down from Get Right, so he's got a chance now of pulling this one off. And there we go. He will be put down.
Looks very different when you can't get those opening kills like they did against Mouse Sports. Plowing out like that into yard, like 30 seconds left, it's not going to work when all the seats are playing and they have all the angles covered. So Kinguin needs to find some new tricks or manage to force those entries somehow.
And Carrigan having a little bit of a monster game here. 8 frags from so far, but making some very impactful kills there. And that's going to force Kinguin onto yet another forced buy, well, a quasi buy, I guess you'd say. The lost bonus probably working in their favor at this stage. Tech 9s, 1 smoke and a flash. Let's have a look where they will be heading right now. First frag once again coming from Dennis. He seems to be the opening fragger on these eco rounds.
Yeah, that Tech 9 and that close range against an MP7 is just favorable.
So 4-on-3 situation now. CTs have got wind of what's going on, and the smoke does go on lower ramp, and this is where it could get interesting. Can they get another bomb down here?
That is the dream right now for Kinguin, but they're getting picked off on the cross from Cajun B. He's looking for another one. Does connect the 3rd shot, looking for and there we go. Easy peasy for him.
Yep.
And 5-1 now, and they desperately just wanted that bomb planted, but it was definitely rejected.
The power of the Molotov on their defense, and Zipix, the one he threw there to the back of 3rd train, basically erased any hopes for Kinguin to get to the site, as we can see it there. Cajun B just picking them like little berries.
Little berries.
Yep.
Nice. Wow. Okay then. So we talked about the pick game not really working out too well for Kinguin so far. Seems like TSM maybe a little bit too disciplined for them. Michael Eddy changing up his strategy here, going straight down to Pop Dog with the AWP and seeing whether he can find anyone there. Once again, just trying to find an opening kill where you can see the setup though from TSM, not giving anything away. This is what they're so good at.
That's the issue for Kinguin as well. They haven't really had the fantastic penetration when it comes to getting through onto the sites after these first 30 or 40 seconds. And this is where they were getting a lot of opening frags, as Henry said before and Natty said before in their previous matchups. Look at Carrigan, he's just fears no man. Just checking left and right, being very cheeky. And Kinguin again playing this one slow. They have a player up towards IV who may be coming on through. The rest of the team is just biding their time right now. The issue is, guys, they become a bit predictable here if they keep playing this slow, steady kind of approach, waiting for the smokes to come in.
Well, it's very difficult to answer back with a full set each if you don't have the full team here. Looks like TSM will continue the onslaught, taking on the opening first. Get Right does have other ideas though. He takes down Carrigan and actually makes it very competitive, making a 3-man for him. And it's now a 2-on-2 situation. Cajun B coming in the back though. Device takes down him and it's a 1-on-1 situation. Dennis is left on the bomb side.
Here's Cajun spinning across, and Dennis gets the frag on 20 HP. That looked like he may have just spun around and shot him as well. I didn't catch it from his perspective.
This is going to be very important tonight. It's going to come down to the huge individual performances from certain players. Get Right getting 3 AK headshots out of absolutely nowhere there. What a fantastic performance from him. And here we go. That was the first frag down. And how does he open this one up? Onto the bomb site. Finds 2 and then the 3rd as well. So that the pick game, we said, not working too well for them. But when you can get Right in those sort of positions, anything could happen. So fantastic stuff there. Second round on the board for Kinguin.
That really solid round from them. Grenades flying on in. Didn't really do that much damage though to Rain. And again, this is a key aspect of Kinguin. If he can start getting the entry frags, if he can start getting the picks, they've got a real chance here. And this is where he excelled earlier today. So that's going to keep TSM now on their tiptoes. Not entirely sure where to maneuver into. You got a player here, Device in Pop Dog. He's just going to be waiting. And again, the terrorists just trying to feel out the CTs, trying to poke and probe and see for any weaknesses. And TSM, in fairness, after losing that first player, done a pretty solid job of not getting desperate, not going too over-aggressive, just sitting in position and waiting.
Well, it's very difficult for them here. Now Kinguin just making their way towards the inside area. It's only going to be Zipex there. He hasn't got much playing of him. Scream opening up fragging as well onto dupreeh. 5-on-3 situation now.
Still, though, will be favouring the terrorists. That's up into the point where Device strikes. Very quick reactions to turn to his left-hand side, shields his eyes from that flashbang. Now on this 3-on-3, Zipex is in a good position, but there's Makaleli again. He will be traded out from Cajun B. Bomb's been planted, 2-on-2. No utility though from the CTs, and they have just lost their first player in this tag team duo. It's all on Cajun B now. Both players behind that train. And he's only got a Molotov to play with, no defuse kit. He's going to throw it right on the ice. I think they very nearly lined up there. Wow. Oh my goodness, that would have been beautiful. But instead, Kinguin hold on to their third round.
Well, this time, Kinguin managing the first 2 picks, actually, but then Cajun B and Device trying to equalize that. But then, obviously, with Zipex only playing alone in that inner bomb side, and Michaelella doing these jump shots he's doing there, jumping down that lower ramp, making it super hard, and then Cajun B in a 1-on-2. Almost the stars align for them, but not this time.
Our fastest player as well, nice and simple, getting out from the range.
Again, though, the entry frag goes the way of Kinguin. That's 3 rounds consecutively. Cajun B will answer back, though, with the scout. Look at Get Right's position. He's pushed up very aggressively. He's going to try and get the cross. His teammates are dying. There's Carrigan once more. Reminiscent from a few rounds previously when he got the ace. But there's Get Right again with 2 quick fire frags. This would be a 1v4 clutch if he can pull this off. He's got the time to do so. He's got the HP to do so. And still an AK. That scout shot will miss him. Just whizzes by his head, which will give him at least a bit of information as to where the scouter is. And that, of course, is going to be Cajun B right now. Zipex, the other player, 55 seconds. Another scout shot, just slightly whiffing. Get Right's hoping that one of the CTs makes a mistake here, but honestly, they're holding perfect angles. And now he will go for that peek. It's a 1-on-1. He's down to 1 HP. This 1v4 clutch would be ridiculous if he can pull it off from here, and it's not going to happen.
But he's making it very expensive for TSM, and I think that's a big factor, even though Kinguin has to go on a savior as their economy has been shattered.
That's why TSM are slightly luckier. That was a round that would have broken them. We saw Famus's scouts being purchased. They just about hold on, though. And like we said, Kinguin unable to force into this one. If they had they got the Tech 90, it could have actually been a really viable round for that. But
I think Carrigan is probably one of the better players. As Get Right just goes and destroys Carrigan there. How convenient. He's one of the better players, though. Playing aggressive on yard, has to be said. I think that's a fair assessment to make.
Once again, Kinguin get that first pick. This time it's going to be Get Right, ripping off the head of Carrigan, as you said. And the Device answers back there. 4-on-4, but TSM definitely looking a little bit rattled here.
Oh, Device is going to get picked off from Get Right as well. What a stand-in he's proving to be for Team Kinguin. They do have, I think that was an MP7 they picked up as well, which has been shifted across terrain. So that's going to free him up to play more aggressively, try and get those entries now onto the sites. A scout in the hands of Cajun B. And Dupree here holding the connector angle with the FAMAS. You can see how much Cajun B's having to dart around. He is basically checking 3 different angles himself. Pop Dog main and also Ivy. But Zipex is going to alleviate some of that pressure. And here comes Dupree as well with the FAMAS. Double spray down for him. And now it's all Makaleli, and he's only got a Glock in his hands. And surely not much of a hope in this round. This would have been a brutal round as well for TSM to have lost, but it looks like they are just about going to salvage it.
To be fair, Carrigan couldn't really do much with that. Get Right at time, just one-shotting with Deagle. But what Device did there, walk on into Pop Dog, wasn't probably the best decision. Just giving that opportunity to give out a kill like that and making a 3-on-5 situation in favor of Kinguin. But still, Dupree pretty much. Here we see this.
Boom.
That was convenient timing as well. So I was just going to rave about Carrigan's ability to hold that front yard. Oh, no. Here we go, round 11.
Kinguin do force into this one. Scout and Tech 9 being purchased. From 2 players inside. Get Right's going to be jumping down. Does get smoked out. Thinks twice of it. And then 2. Once again, Dennis opening it up. Takes a kill onto Device on the Ivy area there. Scream. Not done just yet.
It's crazy to me is how many entry frags Kinguin are getting in this game. Their first picks. But again, TSM will just be stamping out this push. But constantly these rounds are going to the 3v2, 2v2 scenarios, which will catch up with TSM eventually, economically speaking. Kinguin are doing their best to hold on in. You can see a very aggressive push from Get Right. On the B site itself, he's waiting for his teammate to come on in with that bomb. Get Right now lurking. Cajun B's days could be numbered here. He's looking up to upper, and there is Get Right. He's going to bide his time, though. Hopefully another CT will show up and he can get the double kill rather than just the one. So he's going to bide his time. He's going to come up. He could even get the knife here, honestly. And he's going to get the knife right between the shoulder blades of Cajun B, rubbing salt in the wounds. And now smoking off. You definitely heard that player pushing through connector. That smoke will definitely stop the push for now. Bomb, meanwhile, is being planted. But there is a player coming up now behind on B for the CTs.
He needs to make the first move as well.
Lots of pressure on the CTs now in this retake scenario. This would be a huge round for Kinguin. Gives them a real fighting chance. It's going to be Carrigan. He's coming up behind, and he's going to get the frag onto Makalele. All and get right. There's the first spray down. He can't quite connect enough dots. Did heavily damage up. Carrigan, though, holding on to the site is he. He goes for the fake, actually, and get right's called this. The double spray down, and the stand-in stands up tall. 7-4 now to TSM.
Yep, and that's kind of, but I think that's going to put TSM on an eco as well. And get right with the sneaky plays. That's what he knows for. He's known for that ability of just making plays out of the situation that he doesn't really have any situation going on even. And look at that. He's the master of the spray control, isn't it?
Well, it looked like that the first time he went into the spray. He actually may have messed it up a little bit, but coming back, redeeming himself, the double kill there. And just don't forget that knife he took off the KGB as well. Great positional control from him. And now TSM actually will be forcing into this round. This really could break them. It's a big investment, a huge risk considering.
Yeah, this is a bit of a situation where it's either going to be a good half for TSM or it could be a horrible half.
Clearly has got the AWP. Just holding for the push towards Ivy as well. Not going to give away too much here. The smoke's being used by CTs, but for once, Kinguin now just biding their time and seeing what's available.
As you guys say, this really is hanging in the balance right now. This round is so important. TSM CZ57 Scout, far from ideal. In weaponry alone, I should say, you're definitely favouring Kinguin in this round, but it's about the executions. We've already seen that TSM are capable of locking down sites with much worse buys than this as well. So this isn't a gimme by any stretch of the imagination for Kinguin, but that first frag is going to make things so much easier for them. And it's Dupree as well, one of their standout players that has fallen. There's the second frag as well. Device tries his hand, but screams there, Makalele. And this is actually getting out of control now for TSM. They may not even pick up a single frag in return. And they don't. Rain seals it up nicely. And now TSM will be on an eco.
Unbelievable scenes here. Like we said, TSM, very questionable decision to buy into that round. It would have absolutely broken them. That's what's happened here. They've got 2k across the board. Can't really justify buying anything. They can get a P250 here, but Kinguin is playing that round very sensibly, taking each area together, making sure they're playing the buddy system and getting the frags. They're going towards the backtracks and just pulling the CTs apart. They're going to be aware of the economic situation now. And you see Makalele just trying to get the info that's in front of Viardia, actually committing pretty heavily to this. Carrigan has picked up a few rounds, but Scream takes on Dupree, get right gets Carrigan, and now it should be another round on the board for Kinguin.
Yep, this really should just be a formality at this point for Kinguin. And twice.
There it is, simple.
Yep. Rip. No weapons lost again, so this bank balance is building up nicely for Kinguin. You can see they've got a bunch of money to play with now.
Yeah, and for TSM, they're going to have to make compromises on their buys. I don't think we're going to see an AWP. Nope, it's going to be one from Moz. And just a few nades to work with, and not a single kit on the team right now.
Not so many bomb plans, to be fair. It's all just been about the fragging. We've only seen one defuse and no explosions yet, so that just sets the tone for the game, really, of how these rounds have been going down. And once again, just working out if Makalele can do anything to open this one up. Narrowly misses out there. Dennis, once again, with the opening frag on the Dupree. He's been great at opening the map up.
Absolutely huge. There's the second frag as well. The stand-in once more. Get right chimes on in. Cajun B with 2 frags is looking for a third, but his position is so compromised right now. Somehow he's still firing back with that USP and doing significant damage. Zipex is there to save his life, and then he just burns out to the Molotov. Takes us into a 1v1. It's Makalele up against Zipex.
This is the thing. If the bomb does go down, it puts Zipex in a very compromised situation. As we said, no kit here and a FAMAS in hand. He's got all the work to do here.
Makalele very nearly got that spray. He knows Zipex is quite a distance away, so he can afford to go for that plant now and put all the pressure square on the shoulders of the TSM player.
What can you do in this situation? There's 16 HP. You're one flashbang to play with, and you have to find a terrorist who's not going to be facing you until you go for a full diffuser.
Definitely don't envy his position. He's gone for the fake, trying to draw out Makalele. He's going to be flashing and then peeking. Sees there's no player on the kit. And as you say, it was such a difficult position for Zipex to clutch there.
This is like a Fnatic kind of a playstyle Kinguin is showcasing here. They're just the masters of utilizing those picks, which obviously they were not even able to get in the early rounds, but now it's just all turned around. Dennis, in particular, getting a lot of those.
Well, we go into the last round, the business end of this half, and look at TSM. It looked like they could actually lose this half. 2 Kinguin on the T side of Train. Maybe we'd have been told this before. I wouldn't have believed you, but a very simple play coming in from Kinguin, it seems. Actually going to get stopped by that smoke. I think they were actually going to try go towards inside area. I can see Zipex just going to be there alone with the Nova in hand. Definitely not the weapon you want when you're coming against 5 aim stars of Kinguin. Let's see how this one goes down.
Certainly not, but if they can use one of those flashbangs to maybe pop in and for him to get a cheeky couple kills, this could quickly change the tide of the 15th round in TSM's favour. There's a lot of maybes, ifs and buts though for TSM. You can see they've got 3 players on B site occupying this 2 on A. Very aggressive play on ace there. I've got information. Here we go. The Nova hasn't quite been picked off just yet. Carrigan with the 5-7. We saw him pull off an ace with this before. And the Galil. Can he go one better? Can he somehow give TSM the lead here at half-time? It's looking good for them so far. But there is Scream up on upper. He is doing significant damage. Rain will pick up the first frag, but he gets traded out almost instantly. And look at Makaleli. He's only got 2 HP left. TSM are still in this round, only just though. Makaleli's finally been finished off from the Deagle. Dennis can't connect the shots there. And the CTs are just dancing backwards and forwards on this site, forcing the terrorists to push to them. The bombs still drop behind them, easily enough picked up, but Pop Dog could be the play right now. You can see that Cajun B has snaked his way through in there. He's coming down. Meanwhile, Dennis has picked up the first frag. 10 seconds left. Dennis gets the second as well, and that could be absolutely vital. Last play Zipex, and it's with the aforementioned Nova. And there's the one-tap from Scream, and Kinguin hold on to the lead at half-time.
Yeah, TSM, the first half we've seen from them this evening, and actually getting rattled. We talked about Kinguin relying very heavily on the picks, and it seemed like that wasn't going to come true for them until around the 8th round in. It seemed like they came alive and somehow started picking everything. The opening frags from Dennis especially seemed like they weren't ever going to stop. It was phenomenal stuff from him. So interesting first half, not one you would have expected. Kinguin actually winning the T side against TSM.
Madness. You can see there as well how close this game is. Like multiple players from TSM around the 15 kill mark. No one's really underperforming, so to speak. It's just the case that Kinguin, as you say, they've been getting those opening picks. They've been getting the impact kills.
Well, then we can see now. We go to the pistol and bomb heading towards Ivy. And Tech 9 as well. Carrigan actually getting headshots straight away though. He'll be taken out of the round almost instantly.
This would be such a kick in the teeth for TSM if Kinguin win this pistol round. It would be brutal, and so far so good. 4 frags in quick succession. Surely a 5th. There we go. Rain just chimes in with the headshot. 9-7. That is massive for Kinguin.
Those nades coming in.
Yeah.
Those battle swords, Ivy. There's nothing really going on for TSM there at all.
Like I said, that's a big round for Kinguin to take if they can hold on here. Be interesting to see how TSM actually approach this next one. Do they go for the Tech 9 Force? It seems like they won't actually do too much into this. Not getting a bomb down last round. They actually don't get any grenades either. Just 2 P250s. It seems like they will be dropping the bomb towards main there. Just got to see if they can see any CT aggression. But ultimately, I'm not really sure what the options are here. Maybe try and get some control towards Ivy. Push out, split, and pincer the A bomb side there. A difficult prospect considering you haven't got any actual grenades to play with.
Desperately needed one of those P250s to maybe get a headshot or two, maybe get a weapon in the hands of the Ts, but a P90 is too strong from Get Right. That being said, he has been taken out here. So maybe the terrorists can get a couple more frags. It's not looking likely. Again, it's all on Zipex, and well, he's trying to scurry away towards that B side, but the bombs actually drop behind him, so this should be lights out for TSM. 10-7 lead, a bit of a rough spray from Dennis, but he finally gets the better of Zipex, and indeed, it will be 10-7 here in this first map in the best of 3.
Well then, we can see TSM didn't really buy too much the round before. I think that's going to ring true again. They didn't get a bomb down. The objective here purely just to get some cash injection, but once again, no nades being bought whatsoever. So just a few P250s, a Deagle, and a Tech 9 this time to go with it. But Kinguin looking very strong here to get the 11th round on the board. I'd prefer to see a straight up rush here from TSM just to try and maybe force that first frag and see what they can do from that situation. Zipex is going to have the bomb of Pop though. They have got a flashbang this time to play with, so not going to matter though. Get Right takes down Cajun B, and now here comes the execution from the T's.
Rain was completely flashed. He actually face planted the wall there as he got picked off, put out of his misery. There's Scream with a triple spray down. Can't get too carried away with it being an eco round, but still very nicely done from him. And now it's Carrigan. We've seen with the pistols, this guy's a real menace. And he's trying to line up the potential headshot, very similar to what Get Right did before. He's biding his time, waiting for more CTs to show themselves, and unfortunately for him, the aim punch was too much to contend with, and Dennis will give Kinguin a 4-round lead here on the CT side.
This is going to be a big grind for TSM. They've put it against themselves, really.
Well, this time they have had the discipline not to force buy into this one. Device will bring up the AWP. Obviously going to be a huge factor, but Makaleli is going to be responding to that as well. But I'm not sure what kind of round we're going to see from the CTC. Will they be trying 3 players towards inside? I actually suggest they could actually go for some early aggression and try and push up and backstab here. So it's going to be the AWP and Get Right waiting outside. Here we go. Dennis and Scream making their way and make the first frag on the Zipex as well. Great way to open the round for them.
Definitely. And this, as Natu said, this is a huge round for TSM. And starting this poorly could be a fair indication of what's to come. There is Scream. He's really been stepping up big for Kinguin.
What's going on
Natu
here?
shaking his head, doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't predict anymore.
Now then, 5-on-3 situation. Obviously, TSM in the back for here. Haven't really got a control of anywhere. Bomb is going to be coming out. That gets disposed of pretty quickly as well.
Another frag though from, well actually not another frag, the first frag in this round for TSM, which is a sad stat to be reading out, but maybe gives them a glimmer of hope with Get Right so low. Got Rain as well, is pretty low, but there is Get Right just using the corner to devastatingly strong effect, 12-7. And that buy up from the TSM, I mean, it only yielded 1 kill.
This is the thing, they didn't get a bomb down either. It was pretty lackluster, to be honest.
They went all south at that point where CT's pushed up. They got Zipex, and then Dupree tried to retaliate, jumping down the low ramp, and then basically met 3 people there. Got destroyed.
It's a really nice response from Kinguin as well. First gun round, set the tone for the game, get TSM questioning themselves, and now they have the double AWP buy as well. Dennis and Michael Eddy going to be buying that. Rain's getting aggressive into towards Pop Dog. They really are firing on all cylinders right now. TSM are going to have a quasi buy. Tech 9s and some body armor being purchased, but Kinguin looking very strong in the second half. Positive to take this map.
Well, Makaleli does miss a couple of shots, but he's not going to miss 3 times in a row. There's a second frag as well, making up for those previous mistakes. And Carrigan gets the bomb planted, but that's pretty much all he's going to get. No, he does get a Tech 9 frag before dropping, and that's going to be 13-7. Interesting stat as well, that may have changed in the last round, but Get Right is top fragging right now, coming from a subs position. So, I mean,
20 kills for him, so definitely stepping up, and that's really interesting compared to Fox. We talk about the support role player and actually getting good for 1, maybe 2 frags each round. Get Right seems to have come in all guns blazing here and picking up 20 kills, so definitely a valuable pickup for them. And like we said, the double AWP setup staying true for this one at least. Device will get one himself, but they can't allow themselves to get pushed off so early on and losing that early frag to Tease. They need to be ready for this, either with a fast execution themselves or actually being able to take down the first picks.
Makaleli again with the first 2 picks, and he's looking for more. Back in a pretty solid position here. To look at E-Box, he does get pushed from Cage and B. There was no support there from Get Right, who's watching the angle of main instead. Playing the safe, the steady approach on the CT side. There's no reason not to. And now he is lurking up. As you can see though with X-Ray, there's a player just behind the site. That's going to be Zipex, who does at least get the frag. Again though, how many times have TSM been in these positions and been able to transition into a round win? There is Scream, meanwhile, just spraying down onto Zipex. It's all on Cage and B. And he's been spotted from behind, and Dennis puts him down, 14-7. I thought, you know, maybe Kinguin could win this map. Maybe. I did not expect it to be this one-sided, though, ever.
Well, we said if it was ever going to be a map they can take, it's probably going to be Train. And now they're looking amazingly strong. Get Right now picking up the auto sniper just to make things a little bit more interesting. I think Train is one of the most viable maps for this weapon as well. A lot of smoke play, a lot of angles. You can just hold down and pull the left trigger. And well, left mouse button, I should say. That's not really a trigger, but you know what I mean. And then he's going to be facing towards main now. Let's see what he can do. But TSM, once again, forced by really. AK's really beating them out, but finally Zipex picking up that first frag. Dennis going down.
And that's been something that TSM have been sorely lacking, is those first frags, right? Like, I don't know what the statistic is. I'd be very interested to see it, but I feel like it's going to be heavily in favor of Kinguin.
Absolutely. So Rain does neutralize the situation now, taking on one of the key players for TSM. Carrigan goes down 4-on-4. They still have got the sniper rifles. No AWPs at all for TSM here. Full rifle set up, but still 2 smokes them as well. So potential, still a lot of time to use. And bomb will be towards Ivy as well.
Scream just going to be chilling out on the site. Meanwhile, the bomb is traveling through Ivy. It does have an escort as well. As you can see here, Device is going through with Cage and B. Meanwhile, Dupree's trying to get around through Pop Dog, I should say, with Zipex, but he's been picked off from the auto sniper. And there's a second frag as well. It's looking so grim again for TSM. Rain's picked up yet another one. This guy is a man mountain. 3 frags for him. Zipex has answered back. The standing is down. But there is Rain for his 4th.
Rain, I don't know how that HP managed to get those 3 frags. What the hell was that phenomenal stuff? Like, when he needed to go big, I think getting that first kill, the auto sniper set him up perfectly. The T's didn't even check the off angle there as they came out, and big AK play towards the end. Let's just have a look at those kills. Really simple stuff, like I said. Hasn't been not even thinking that angle would be a thing. This is the kill that surprised me. You'd assume he goes down there, but the reaction speed of this guy is just too much. And they go on to map point now.
He's got really good movement as well. It's one of the reasons why he's such a fantastic clutcher.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we can see, obviously, TSM have no choice but to buy into this round. One player's going to be on the Tech 9. Bomb left towards T-Spawn, but someone has got towards inside. Dupree's at the upper ramp. And for once, there's not going to be 3 sniper rifles with Kinguin. Just 1. That's going to be on Michael.
Well, that's a bit of a glitch in the system as far as Kinguin are concerned. Get right going down to a Tech 9 is far from ideal. I don't think they were managing to get to the weapon though, so this allows Makalele to move in, but again, he has to watch multiple angles, and he gets dinked. I think there's a run across from the Tech 9. He's down to 31. So he will be able to live to fight for another day. Pushes back through, gets flashbanged. He's now been dropped even lower to 5 HP. Maybe this is the beginning of something truly remarkable from TSM. And it's going to have to start right here, right now. Otherwise, we'll be moving to that second map. And Rain wants to bring this home quicker than expected as far as TSM were concerned. Scream is also going to be coming in for his second frag, and the crossfire is too strong. 16-7 to Kinguin.
It's official. I'm not predicting anything anymore.
Yeah, I think you're right. So what is going on tonight? Absolutely crazy scenes at Kinguin.
But it's fun to see, though. I mean,
absolutely.
It's great to see these individuals really come to alive and just play like this, like Rain. What a monster, just destroying people.
Get right as well. That's another storyline going into this. The fact he's the Merc coming into this, and somehow, I don't know what he ended up with. I remember about 5 minutes ago, 20 frags. He's probably looking at 25 towards the end of that. So what an opening we have to this series. We assumed going into this would be quite a boring result. TSM probably rolling over and taking this one clearly. But just we're talking about the frags. Let's look at the scoreboard just now and see where those frags did end up. And Get Right for Money is going to be the interesting one, actually. 21 frags, so didn't go huge at the end of it. Look how even it is across Team Kinguin. All players stepping up, finding frags there. And you see some of the bigger players with TSM not really arriving. Device, we looked to him as one of the MVPs going into tonight, one of the key matchups. Only gets 7 kills. Dupree as well. Yeah. We coined him as one of the world's best riflers. He's getting shut down all over the place. Dennis, for me, crazy plays from him, finding entry frags almost everywhere. And, of course, Rain, towards the end there, really did light it up. Michael Elliott, I just want to touch on him as well. Amazing AWPing. He seemed to be getting, in the important rounds, was getting 2 or 3 frags on the defensive side. But let's have a look at the heat maps as well. I just want to see if this can paint a picture for us. Obviously, the colours do not represent the sides. It is just the T side approach. Okay, so
that paints a picture.
That does. So TSM not even picking up a single T round, and only kills they get towards that 5 track there in the outside bomb site. Not really sure we need to say much more than that. As Steve showed you, the dominancy here from Kinguin, and that's crazy scene. Let's have a look at the MVP as well. It's going to be Scream, I believe. Dennis, I believe.
That's 3 consecutive MVPs for him.
Yeah,
no,
you're absolutely right there.
That's insane.
He's had one heck of a night.
Absolutely. Well, that's pretty good for him. And just to reiterate, he may not have got the most frags, but it's the opening kills, and those are the kills that actually win you rounds. So that's why he gets the MVP award there. And I'm really impressed with his team so far. This addition of Get Right really has brought the team to life, it seems. Ever since he joined the server against Navi, it seems like they've been playing lights out CS there. So really interesting scenes from them. But I guess we go into map number 2, which is going to be Dust 2, which is one of the ones you said, Natu, that does... It's one of the maps that people don't want to play Kinguin on, I guess.
I would feel like that, right? It's that kind of a map where, it's the most common played map in Counter-Strike. It really it comes down to individual skill a lot. And so it feels like that would be the kind of map you want to avoid playing Kinguin on. Especially the way they're playing tonight. Like, yeah, I think TSM picking up Dust 2 probably thought, okay, we'll be able to lock them out here, but probably going to be a little bit worried going into that second one. But we'll take a very short break now as the guys get ready on the server, but don't go anywhere. This is going to heat up only further, so we'll be right back. We have to
Kinguin, but they're walking into a crossfire, and Device and Karrigan will oblige in kind. 2 frags for free for TSM. Get Right does answer back, but now he is the last player remaining. It's all Kinguin, but they're getting picked off on the cross from Cajun B. He's looking for another one. Does connect the third shot, looking for and there we go. Easy peasy.
And here we go, that was the first frag down. And how does he open this one up? Onto the bomb site, finds 2.
Reminiscent from a few rounds previously when he got the ace, but there's Get Right again. With 2 quick Zipax is going to alleviate some of that pressure. And here comes Dupree as well with the FAMAS double spray down for him. And now Get Right's called this the double spray down, and the stand-in stands up tall.
Yeah, but Kinguin is playing that round very sensibly.
For TSM, if Kinguin win this pistol round, it would be brutal.
No nades being caught whatsoever, so just a few P250s. And Deagle taking on this time to go with it. That's Kinguin looking very strong here.
Shots, but he's not going to miss 3 times in a row. There's a second frag